Week 5, there's a couple of things to do before we get into this game against the New England Patriots. Firstly, I want to go into these contract negotiations. I'm not sure who the other 3 players are. Obviously, Kevin Pierre-Louis, we just need to offer more money. We offered him in the right amount of time. Wasn't enough money, so we offered him more money. It wasn't big enough bonus, so we're offering him now, going to offer him a bigger bonus. I don't mind paying this guy. It's just a little bit annoying that I have to do it this many times. I just wish they would have told me exactly what to offer him in the first place. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the New England Patriots roster, because last season, the end of last season, Tom Brady retired. So I'm interested to see what they've got going on there. I do want to start looking at teams' rosters. That's something I haven't done for the first 4 weeks. That's my bad. Obviously now with rookies and stuff, we saw last week, I think it was the Dolphins, had a seriously good rookie quarterback, seriously good rookie running back, and I want to know what we're getting into with every team. So I'm going to start looking at the rosters quickly for every team before we head into the games as well. So we'll start this week with the Patriots. We'll do the contract negotiations and then we'll head into this game. So at quarterback, the Patriots have Jimmy G. Now obviously there's no reason for them to have any different players anywhere else, but I'm still going to take a quick look, see if they got any big time rookies playing anywhere. Not going to go through the entire team, just notable things where there's new players. So if I don't show you the position, it probably means they've just got the same player they used to, or it's a similar player to what they used to have and it's not that interesting. At wide receiver, they've got Ted Ginn Jr., gives them a deep ball option here, and he's still got 90 speed as well. And then they've got a rookie here, Henry Cody, 78 overall, not really crazy good anything particular. It's decent catching at 82 for a rookie, but just a decent rookie, nothing to worry about that. So of course, unlike real life, they still have Jamie Collins here. I say of course, it could have not have been because his contract was up for renewal, but they paid him in this universe. Peniel Bradshaw from Wisconsin is their other rookie at middle linebacker, an 81 overall rookie there. Really fast at 87 speed for a linebacker, 82 strength, 88 tackling, 90 hit power, 86 block shedding. This guy is really good. So that was it for that team. A couple of new guys there. A middle linebacker that I'm kind of jealous of. I think we looked at him. Obviously, we never really had a chance to sign him, but I think that was one of the guys we looked at. Not the main middle linebacker we were looking at, but one of them. Let's get into these contract negotiations. So nobody important is up apart from Kevin Pierre-Louis. So this is the contract I am offering, an $18 million contract over 4 years, which is still quite low for our best defensive player. $111 million in cap room, so this $3.5 million cap hit is nothing. Hopefully he will accept this. We've put the bonus up now, the salary's up, he's got 4 years, let's hope he takes it. The offer is perfect, I can't wait until next year. Well, you know, this year you're still playing football, so maybe you start thinking about that, not next year. And we'll go into this game against the New England Patriots with Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback, a real nice looking second middle linebacker, but apart from that, it's a slightly weaker looking team, and we can see that as they are 2-2, and we get to face them at home. So we've got a decent chance here of stopping them early on 3rd and 4. Rush doesn't get there. Pass complete to Gronkowski. He turns upfield, but then Darren Stanley forces the fumble on the tackle. Scooby Wright picks it up. A turnover very early in the game there with the forced fumble on Gronkowski. We didn't do anything with our possession. They get the ball back, and that is David Onyemata chasing down the quarterback. Our defensive tackle gets him down. That's a nice sack there. And then Keith Marshall is off to the races. There was a nice block there from Michael Thomas. And you know, once he gets to the outside, there's no catching him. He is an absolute killer on the edge there, and he gets a touchdown, and that puts us up 7-0. Now they're coming down here 3rd and inches. We had the chance to stop them. They go with the fake fullback flip, get the first down, but on 2nd and 12, Kevin Pierre-Louis lays the hammer down, makes it 3rd and 13. And we stop them there. 4th and 13, they go for the field goal. So now the score is 7-3, and we get the ball back, start to move it downfield. We're going for DJ Foster. He's not been able to do too much this season, and again gets stopped short there. They get the ball back, and a huge run there from Dion Lewis going all the way down the field. Darren Stanley, the only guy that's going to catch him. He does catch him at the 11-yard line, but there was a flag. It was holding on their team. It was actually a block in the back. Once that run started, gets called all the way back. And there's Gronkowski just going through our players like they were made out of paper. But then Trey Flowers, a nice tackle on James White for a loss of 5 yards. 3rd and 8, we go for a deep post to the tight end, and we saw this last week again. He just massively overthrows the guy. I don't know how he keeps doing this. This is the same play 2 weeks in a row now, I believe. but they get the ball, bring it down to the 9-yard line, but we stop them. So they're on 4th and goal, kick the field goal, 7-6. We need to score again. It's been a while since we have. There's a nice play to DJ Foster. That's about the best he's had all season there for about 11 yards. We didn't manage to score before the half ended, but we're going down the field again here with DJ Foster, this time another 12 yards or so. So he's starting to heat up a little bit now. Hackenberg here drops back on 3rd and 4, gets sacked. He absolutely gets laid out by that player. Of course, fumbles it. Poor him. That's a hit a quarterback shouldn't have to take. So that puts us on 4th and 17. We go for the field goal. That's about a 53-yarder or something if I remember correctly. A nice kick there from Thomason. We go up 10-6. And again to Gronkowski here, who is just going through our guys. The quarterback may have changed, but the playmaker hasn't. Gronkowski making plenty of big plays. And then plenty of time there in the pocket, but we get to him. Dion Jordan, I think that was, with the sack and the forced fumble. And the very next play here, Trey Flowers gets him for the forced fumble. Dion Jordan recovers that one, so that's 2 sacks in a row, 2 forced fumbles in a row, and we get the ball back without conceding any points. Hackenberg throws it downfield there, nice completion to Aaron Weatherington. They grab his face mask as he goes down. That's another 15 yards on top of that, and then we didn't have enough time there to find a pass, get sacked, and we missed the field goal actually. It was a close one. Chip shot, we still missed, and another forced fumble. Again, Dion Jordan in on that sack, recovered by Kevin Pierre-Louis. That's 3 forced fumbles now on the day, and we're now into the 4th quarter. And Hackenberg completes a nice corner route there to Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas runs a very nice corner route, and we move downfield quite easily on that one. Another throw there to Mark Mitchell, similar type of area of the field. He doesn't manage to fight his way through, gets dropped at the 3-yard line, and then a stretch run to Keith Marshall. He just runs through the first guy that tries to tackle him, in for the touchdown. He's not just fast, he's strong as well. And then this pass to Gronkowski, who's not just strong, he is fast as well, and he's powering through our guys. After this, we actually put Kevin Pierre-Louis in man coverage on him almost exclusively, and then Scooby right there, a nice hit in pass coverage, breaks up that pass. So 2nd and 3 here, halfway through the 4th quarter. Nice pass again to DJ Foster, who's definitely managed to find a little bit of form here in this game. And 3rd and 1, we go for a play action, roll out, throw to Janovich, who does get there, can't get much further than the 5, but it's far enough to get the first down, and we got ourselves a touchdown there. Keith Marshall's 3rd of the day, and they get the ball back, 25-yard line, 2 minutes left in the 4th, and that's not going to help them whatsoever. Dion Jordan, not a sack there, an incomplete pass, but it's just as good. We get the ball back again, and now we're just with Zach Pearman, trying to run out the clock, give him a bit of time to run, doesn't get anything there, but it does finish the game. We win 24-13. This defense is just dominant. There is no stopping them at this point. All of the changes pretty much were on the back end. We've got new safeties, we've got new corners, and it is paying dividends for the entire team. Pressure galore from the front 4. It's just such a different picture to what it was last year. The defense wasn't that bad, but they never had this kind of pressure game after game. So Christian Hackenberg, again, not a good game. He's had a couple of alright games this season, but more bad than good. Only 157 yards, 61% isn't bad at all, but obviously that one interception which he just shanked completely overthrew. He's not been crazy accurate at all so far. Rushing, this is why he didn't have to do much. Keith Marshall, pretty low scoring game this week, but Keith Marshall 14 attempts, 98 yards, 3 touchdowns. According to this, Nat Newsom didn't have the best day whatsoever. 3 sacks allowed. Now, he was going up against Jabal Sheard, who was playing right end, but 3 sacks, not great for the rookie. I think that's the first time we've seen him here in this category. But, you know, it is what it is. We had a bad day. We can get over that. Defensively, look at this. Derek Milner. Can you think of a better way for him to justify being played above Akeem Davis with 12 total tackles on the day? One of those was a tackle for a loss. He's all over the field. Kevin Pierre-Louis did a great job. We started to put him in man coverage against Rob Gronkowski, and he pretty much shut him down after that. A whole bunch of tackles for losses. Not as many sacks, but that's because there was some forced fumbles. Not as many sacks, but there was a lot of pressure on him. We didn't really manage to get much off. David Onyemata got one. Dion Jordan got one. I'm pretty sure one's been missed again because there was a forced fumble. We'll have to see. Darren Stanley got one and Dion Jordan got one. Darren Stanley's was obviously at the start of the game on Gronkowski. Dion Jordan got one, but we got a second forced fumble, if you remember, on Jimmy Garoppolo. He had 2 forced fumbles in a row, and we've only got one here showing up. So I think it was Trey Flowers. Trey Flowers forced the second one. It's the one that Dion Jordan recovered. Trey Flowers doesn't get a sack for that. That's how the stats here work sometimes. But that's it for this game. A good game all round. Another regression, we can only assume it's still Keith Marshall with his injury. It is. It's down to 1 now. I hope that means it will stop after this. We may have to spend some of his XP putting that injury rating back up, although it's not been too much of an issue. It's not like he's been getting nicks during games. 4-1 now. So we beat the Patriots there. They're definitely not the same team they were, but Rob Gronkowski still caused just as many problems. What we've got to do now is scout college players and then move on to next week. So that's all these done again. One that jumped out at me was Michael Flynn here, middle linebacker from Notre Dame. Decent looking player there from the stats we can see. Nobody else really jumping out at this point. There's a couple of quarterbacks with good throw power and stuff, but outside of that, not much at this point. In week 6, we'll be up against the Lions, who are 1-4. Now, we are going to Ford Field, makes it a little bit more difficult, but at 1-4, there's obviously some big problems with that team right now. We're 4-1, the exact opposite. And let's take a look at their team to see what's changed. Well, remember how I said I'd only show you positions that have changed in any major way? Nothing has changed with the Lions. The offense is literally all of the same starters as it was last year. So that's zero difference there. Not on the line, no running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. Nothing is different. Defense is not much different, which actually, of course, is a bit of a problem because they haven't got the best defense. So maybe that's why they're 1-4. But no new rookies to worry about there. They had a few in backup positions and stuff, but no starters. So it should be pretty straightforward. And I think at this point, with how the team's playing, it's kind of irrelevant if we're home and away. As long as Christian Hackenberg can put together a decent performance this week, I think we'll do fine. So the Lions start out the game moving the ball pretty well here. Matthew Stafford back to pass on 1st and 10, and Derek Milner drops an interception. He leaves it on the field. On the very next play here, he manages to find Eric Ebron in the flat. Took him a while to find him. He was open for a while, and Darren Stanley just lays him out. How many free safeties do you know that can put a linebacker on the floor like that? Not too many. This time, 2nd and 7, Christian Hackenberg back to throw. A nice throw downfield there, but Coleman doesn't manage to bring it down. Very, very close there. Decent throw from Hackenberg. Coleman just can't beat his corner for it. And Jameson Nickerson does a good job breaking that pass up. We get the ball back again, 0-0. And Keith Marshall straight up the middle there. Finds some room, a very nice run, about 13 yards on that one. And on the very next play, he puts his stamp on the game. This is a concept he runs so well, gets to the outside, lets the blocks set up. We go up 7-0 off that play. 2 very nice back-to-back runs from Keith Marshall there. And on this play, you'll see a problem that we had the entire game. That's Kevin Pierre-Louis covering Golden Tate in man coverage. The Lions in this game do an excellent job of making those mismatches happen, and then they also do an excellent job of just walking untouched into the end zone. And it's all square now at 7 apiece. We get a chance to go downfield again, not much time left in the first, and Rico Gathers was matched up against a cornerback on that one, beats him on the press, goes down the field. Hackenberg manages to find him, and it was a nice game there. And on the next play, Hackenberg throws a nice screen here to Michael Thomas, who makes the most of it, about 9 yards on that gain. But unfortunately, we weren't able to finish off the drive with a touchdown, a field goal instead, so we are up 10-7 here, about the middle of the second, and that was a big-time hole. Nobody there. Darren Stanley actually missed the tackle, but was there to slow him down at least. That could have almost been a touchdown. And then Darren Stanley laying down the hammer again on Eric Ebron, the tight end. On 2nd and 10, we bring the blitz, 0 coverage, 1-on-1 on the outsides, and somehow that tackle was missed. Marvin Jones walks into the end zone. Bad defensive play there. No excuses, everyone's got to be better than that. So we've got the ball, 2nd and 8, Hackenberg back to throw. There was a flag thrown. Rico Gathers brings it in. That's a matchup we've got to keep exploiting in this game. It's working pretty well so far. 2nd and 14 now. And Hackenberg manages to find Malcolm Mitchell in traffic, who holds on. Another first down there, down to the 49-yard line. Hackenberg started slow throwing it. Gets much better here. And then Keith Marshall, he's gone all the way. Guys just missing him. He is so elusive, as well as fast, as well as strong. But the worst thing here is that the flag was thrown on us. That was a block in the back from our center. And then Hackenberg on 3rd and 5 just overthrows his receiver Mobo there, and we have to turn the ball over. They're now 2nd and goal with a chance and a wide open tight end. We're playing zone. Nobody bothers even going near him. Davis just makes that catch easily for the touchdown. They're up 21-10 now, and then this happens. We had a chance to maybe make a comeback here before the second half was over. Not with that kind of luck. Rico Gathers, the ball just pops in the air as he hits the ground, and now this is going to help us. That takes them out of field goal range. Dion Jordan there with the sack on Matthew Stafford. Didn't quite take him out of field goal range full time though. They got a couple of yards back and managed to hit a 51-yarder there to go up 24-10 at the half. Christian Hackenberg here rolling out, and we all know you should never throw across your body, but who was that even intended for? Your guess is as good as mine. There wasn't really anybody that close. Obviously the one receiver, not a great throw either in idea to throw it or the actual throw itself. And then what was that? Darren Stanley, who's been absolutely destroying Eric Ebron, just walks past him. I don't know why, I don't know how, he just decided to walk by him. And then this could have been a better play. Derek Milner managed to get the running back, but somehow he falls into the end zone. Defender should have tackled him backwards. They just push him into the end zone, really. And then that. What about that catch from Brendan Coleman? I don't think I've seen much better catches in my time at this team, which has been a season and a half. And a couple of plays later, Hackenberg back to Coleman, this time for the touchdown. Coleman is starting to drive this comeback attempt himself. Obviously, Hackenberg's giving him the ball, but Hackenberg has done not much before that. And again, another run where broken tackles happen. He goes all the way. Darren Stanley manages to catch him. At least there's some good safety play today. That's about as much as you can say. We blitz here on 3rd and 5. Darren Stanley goes down to meet Stafford, and he throws the touchdown before he gets there. That puts us down 38-17, but we're coming back again, and it is Brandon Coleman again, and he goes through a player to get into the end zone. 2 guys wrapped around him as he drives them into the end zone, and this is a final play here. Hackenberg has got to make this on 4th and 8, and no. Coleman had a shot at that. Maybe it was slightly underthrown. The chances of a comeback were very slim already by this point, but it's definitely over now. 1 minute 22 seconds left, and to Coleman, who drops it. He's been so good, and he drops the ball that time. 3rd and 7. That probably was just a bad idea, but at this point of the game, you got to force throws because otherwise you can just take a knee. That's how this season's been going. It seems to be a bunch of good games, and then we lose one by quite a distance. This game really went quite terribly, especially for Christian Hackenberg. Now, I'll say before we even really look at the stats, we're not swapping Christian Hackenberg. We will now, because of this, probably look for a quarterback in the 1st round, but we're not taking Christian Hackenberg out now. He was good last season. I don't understand how he's just gone backwards so much this season. It's really annoying. Some of those interceptions were bad decisions. Some of them were just terrible throws. One of them wasn't an interception. He just got really unlucky that the receiver caught it, came out of his hands, popped back in the air, and was caught by a defender. 50% isn't good enough though, 255 yards. Brandon Coleman had himself a bit of a day, 8 receptions, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tried to bring it back for the team, but he couldn't. Defensively, we weren't good enough today. That's the annoying thing. It wasn't that the offense was letting us down. Defensively, we were not good enough by any stretch of the imagination. Sure, everyone got a bunch of tackles. Jameson Nicholson let us down quite a lot today. Too many underneath routes he was just letting be completed. Sack for Dion Jordan, sack for D. Milliner, who is injured. Hopefully that's not too long term. It was a dislocated ankle, so it may well be slightly long term. 1 interception for Kyler Fackrell. A load of players could have had it. It's the outside linebacker that gets it. And he had a forced fumble as well, so Kyler Fackrell, the best defensive player this week. So plenty going on after that game. 2 new injuries, 2 players have regressed. One of them I assume is Keith Marshall with his injury still, and the other one will be Christian Hackenberg, awareness for throwing 4 interceptions. Would you look at that? That's exactly what it is. Awareness through 4 interceptions. No surprise there. The injuries, let's hope for slightly short term. It's gonna be Goodwin and Milliner. 5 weeks for both of them. That's gonna hurt, especially for Milliner, who'd been doing well in the slot. We had a good looking group of cornerbacks. It's gonna look a little less good now. Goodwin joins Tajae Sharp as an injured wide receiver. We've not had the best luck there this season. All there's left to do this week is scout some college players. Nice looking wide receiver here, Najee Kaysen, A- spectacular catch. And that's it for scouting players. There was 1 wide receiver that was a decent looking guy, and now we'll move on to next week, and that of course does it for this episode. Next week we're playing the New York Jets, who are 2-3. We're now 4-2, so not bad, but obviously we were not proud of what we did last week whatsoever. And we'll have to see what life without D. Milliner looks like at corner number 3.